Let's see. Let me just get some things in order here, and we will be ready to roll. Live chat. There we go. How you doing, Samuel? You're the only one on here so far. Usually we get up to like about 100 people. Let's see how many people will get here tonight. Hopefully we have our moderator on here tonight, Sinful. So I only see one person on here tonight, but we'll see. Anyway, guys, this is what's going on this week. It's been a very busy week. Whenever we have our get-togethers, it's a lot of contacting people, and we have about 200 contacts now. There's Michael. Michael's on board here. Good. And we got Lynn says, good evening. How you doing, Lynn? We're already up to 18 people. We're starting off good. So anything you guys want to talk about tonight, we're open to, okay, except for politics. We'll stay off the politics, okay? I did hear some stuff this week about Taiwan and China, actually. I guess China is really acting up a lot lately. Kissinger was actually up there, and he's, almost 100 years old or something like that, and he actually visited Z, which I found kind of interesting. So I thought that was kind of cool that somebody that's not not really a politician, but a retiree went over, and he considers China a friend, which he's been over there over 100 times. So I can see how you would think that way, but I mean, it's kind of hard for us. They won't even allow the United States government to go over there to talk to them. So that's how bad our ties have gotten over there. Marco here, good morning, was just in the Philippines. Lynn says, I am good. Let's see, drove through Dasma on way to Tagaytay, loved it. That's right near my house. Tagaytay is not that far away. I'm actually thinking about moving there maybe next year. I'm contemplating it. We'll see how things go. Joe Porter says, hello from Central Texas, Steve. Chuck619 says, good morning from San Diego. How you doing, Chuck619? So we're up to about 30 people, 5 thumbs up. Let's hit that thumbs up, guys. Let's see how many other people can get on here. So if you guys want to start shooting out questions, we can talk about anything you want. And let's see. I think I got Mike on here for a moderator tonight, too. I'm not sure if Sinfuls is on here. See, Michael says, Kissinger is and was part of the problem. Nixon stabbed Taiwan ROC in the back. Let's see, Dennis Fincham, try and show some houses for rent. We actually, Dennis, if you actually go back through my stuff, we actually have a lot of houses. I've got like about 1,400 videos now. We actually have a lot of houses that we've showed for rent. And those prices are still pretty much the same. They haven't changed that much. Go back into my stuff. A lot of those houses come back up every once in a while. Also, you might want to check Airbnb. Airbnb actually has decent, if you put it in for a month in there, the rentals, it doesn't show you the daily rental, it shows you the monthly rental, and they actually come down in price. So it's you may want to take a look at that, because some of those people are having problems renting out those places for some reason. And when you put in for a month, they'll take you. And they're also furnished, and most of them have air conditioning, and they're pretty clean. Gordon Stefan says, good evening, Steve, from Las Vegas. How was the rainstorm? We actually haven't, here it hasn't been that bad. We've got a little rain a little while ago, but that was it. Leonard Marlin says, Kissinger was one to put up talks under Nixon with China was a very big deal. Tom's away says, hey, Steve, I'm in Iloilo this month, Cebu City next month. Okay, Sinfuls is on board. Good. I didn't see you earlier, Sinfuls. So I got you and Michael on here for moderators tonight. Just in case one misses something, the other one will get it. Michael says, Tagaytay sounds cool. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about it. I'm thinking about it maybe next year, or someplace else. I'm not really sure yet where I'm gonna go. I've got a few places on my mind. Let's put it that way. Michael Leguest says, hi, Steve. I'm coming back August 13th. I'll be heading back to Angeles. Lynn says, it's been too long. Haven't watched you live. Been busy with my thesis. Finally done. September will be our graduation. Hi to all there. That's good news. Sinful says, note in regards to tonight's live stream, no bashing, trolling, or negative BS will be tolerated. There'll be no timeouts. Just immediate blocking. Yeah, because we had the problems before, guys, and I put Sinfuls and also Michael in as moderators, and we just don't want to put up with any of the stuff that we had a few weeks ago. We know who it was, but we just won't tolerate it. So Tom's away says, new glasses. Yes, 60 pesos, and they're actually pretty good too. I actually like them. They don't look really that great, but hey, they're glasses. So let's see. K9 Companion says, hey, y'all, from Georgia. There we go. We got Georgia on board. Lynn says, Steve, you look good You look more good tonight. Is it because of new glasses? Maybe. Yeah, my back's still sore, but it's actually this week I've actually had um, less back problems. I wake up in the morning, I can actually walk, which says something. But sciatica is a funny thing. It goes back and forth. So I'm at probably about, I've lost about 60% of the pain that I had, which is good. So 50 to 60%, and I'll accept that for now. I'm still waking up with pain, but not as much, and I don't have to take as much medication right now. So, but who knows tomorrow? Because it has gone back and forth this week, and that's part of the healing, I think. Let's see. Michael Ellis says, Steve, have you considered contacts? Michael, I actually am terrified of anything to do with my eyes. My cousin got a thing in his eye one time from a bike chain, and ever since then I've been kind of like traumatized when he got a shot in his eye. And Justin here, he gets shots in his eyes too, and he tells me about his eyes. And whenever people start talking about their eyes, I get the heebie-jeebies, David Hess, hello everyone. Tom and Jerry in the Philippines. Good evening, Steve. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. GFFX. Hi all from Houston. We got Houston on board. Michael L. Which Georgia? Let's see. I would say that's probably Georgia, and we're just near South Carolina. Hello from Canada, the retiring cobbler. Paul Drew, hello from Manlius, New York. Cindy G says hello. Gordon Stefan, hey Steve, I need info on getting documents apostilled. The way you get documents apostilled in the United States, and almost all documents, except in a few cases, almost all documents can be done through your state secretary. Okay, Gordon, it's very easy. Just call your state secretary's office and they will do it. If not them, then the State Department will do them, okay? Sinfuls is putting up my email here, Steven5975@yahoo.com. But as far as apostles, very easy. State secretary, call your state secretary's office. It's very simple. People think it's hard. Just call them. They'll tell you what to do. You can go on to their page, okay? Let's see. Gene Lamb, hi, glad to catch your live stream. I'm coming back to the Philippines, Luzon area next month, August. Can't wait to be there. Good to see you, Gene. Mr. Brister says, hello from beautiful St. Louis, Missouri. We'll be settling into BGC on December 1st. BGC is a beautiful area. I actually like that area, but, it's a place I think you get burned out on fast, I mean, if you spend a day there, it just gets kind of boring because it's all just stores, But it is beautiful. There's high-rise buildings and there's nice malls there. Anthony Thompson, hello from Dallas, Texas. How you doing, Anthony? Let's see. Leonard Marlin says it's good to move somewhere else just to see a new area and meet new people. I agree, Leonard. We've gone through a lot here in my town, and I think it's just time for a change. And maybe next year we might do that change. We'll see how things go, God willing. Michael L says St. Charles, Missouri. Sinful says, so the new Landers open near New Valley. Landers, for you guys that don't know, is a lot like SNR or like a Costco back in the States. And Landers is actually pretty good. I don't find it as good as SNR, though. So we're up to 62 with 26 thumbs up, guys. Let's keep this conversation going. You guys can talk about anything you want. Jeff Thompson, except for politics. Jeff Thompson says, thanks again for the SRRV info. Sitting in Alabama at the moment, next month's CSFP. Looking forward to seeing my family in Barangay Baladi. Great channel, Steve. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. We try to keep the channel, we try to keep people interested in here by changing up the topics a lot. And we've got 1,400 videos, so it's hard to do topics. So I try to go off the beaten path a little bit. And I think people are taking note of that. And they're actually, some of the other vloggers are doing that too. And they're using some of my topics, which is okay, as long as they change it up a little bit. I hate to see people when they take your topic and they say almost the same thing word for word. And I've actually seen a couple of people do that. Jeff Thompson, thanks again for the SRRV info. Let's see, I already read that one. Tom's Away says, nicest BI office I've seen is in BGC behind Aura Mall. Robbie Rose, Anthony Plano here. How you doing, Robbie Rose? Let's see. So let's get some more topics on here tonight. I got my water here. Let's see. We got Legazpi City every other month. And this is Leonard Marlin. Says we go to Legazpi City every other month and to. Wait a minute. What happened? It just disappeared. There we go. into Butuan City every other month and go somewhere out of the country. We go once a year last year, South Korea, and this year Japan. Next year Germany, Spain. Sounds good, man. That's what life is about, man. Traveling and just changing up life a little bit. I'm just kind of getting like bored here a little bit and beat up. Like after a while, things change and sometimes not for the good. Tom Pearce says, do you think that PI women ruin you as far as bothering to show interest in Western women after you see the difference? Do you think that PI women ruin you as far as even bothering to show interest in Western women? I'm not sure. I mean, I've seen women in the United States, Tom, that I liked a lot, but they're mostly from other countries. Like Dominican Republic, Colombia. I met at Guatemala, Mexican. Most of the women that I dated back home were either Black Americans or they were Spanish, Asian. I dated a lot of different women. I really don't see much of a difference between women. I think the women over here are kind of the same as back home, to be honest with you, in their own way. Some of them are sweeter, I will say that. It depends on different factors, I would say. Brian S., are you having another group event where you and your friends are going to meet some of us new folks in the PH? Yes, Brian. Actually, we're meeting on Tuesday for you guys that want to go to it at the Evia Mall in Bacoor. Evia Mall, EVIA, at Texas Roadhouse. So if you want to go, you're welcome to go. Sinful says, Leonard Martin, good to hear, Leonard. Two-Wheel Dragon Daddy, hey, good evening, sir. How you doing? Welcome aboard. John here says, hi, Steve. Trucking across Interstate 40 near Nashville. When you took your trip to Zambales, where was that? It's actually above Manila, up near Subic. My in-laws have a mango plantation just north of Subic. It's up in that area. And let's see, we got RLV on board here. He says, hey, Steve, did you try going to Trinoma using the rails MRT? No, because actually when I'm up there, I stay fairly close. I take a taxi over there to Trinoma. I actually like that mall. There's some other nice malls up around there too, but Trinoma is one of my favorites. I like walking in there because I need to go out and walk every day, and I don't like to walk in the heat. And when I'm up there, I like the restaurants, and I know the people up there now, and I get some really wonderful friends up there. One thing about the Philippines is I love the waiters and the waitresses here because they're very friendly, and you make new friends that way. Michael L. says, SK and Japan are interesting places. Despite being hard currency places, both are tempting places. Japan actually has an island where they have a town or a village or something like that in the middle of a volcano, and it's obviously a dead volcano, inactive, but they say it's cheap living out there, and it looks like an interesting place actually. Leonard Marlin, thanks, Infuls. I hope you enjoy your time with your parents. Let's see, Frank Klutz, Tagaytay will agree with you and you with it. Don't stray too far from the VA. No, absolutely not. Nice and comfortable. I love being near the VA. That's one thing I will not give up. I'm actually thinking about Tagaytay and a few other places, and I really don't want to give up getting away from the VA because I need the VA probably now more than ever. Tom Pierre, I am referring to the attitudes of PI women to the U.S. Karens. You know something, Tom? I mean, they got their Karens over here too. Trust me. I've seen a few. We've got Filipina Karens and they got USA Karens. There's just, I think, they're not out in the open as much. Most of the PI women over here are pretty decent women, and they kind of stay low, but that they are somewhat like the American women. They just kind of hide it better. That's my thoughts. I love Filipino women here. I mean, I just think that you're swapping one problem for another. It's kind of the same. I'm not saying that Filipino women are bad. I'm saying I think we're trading something for something different. That's my thoughts on it. Tom and Jerry in the Philippines. There is something about that tan skin and long black silky hair. See, that's the thing that attracts me to Filipino women is the darker skin and the long black hair. To be honest with you, and a lot of the girls over here like to be white, like white skinned. That is something that attracts the guys over here. Let's see, we're up to 74 and 39 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Joshua says, man, anyone in Cebu recommend a steak place? I tried TGIF at Ayala and it was gross, grisly abomination of a steak. Tried a few places as well and so chewy, paying 2,000 pesos. That's a lot of money for a steak. There's actually a steak place that I did a thing on. I go there once in a while. I haven't been there in a while, and it's all you can eat steak, and they're actually pretty good. A little bit grisly, but it's not as grisly as some of the other steaks I've had around. Joshua, for nothing you can call a ribeye. Let's see. Leonard Marlin says, my wife has a sister, niece, and nephew on Okinawa, Japan. I was stationed in Kadena Air Base in the 90s, so I'm looking forward to see the changes. Sounds cool, man. Let's see. Michael L. says, I would not take the LRT, not the cleanest of options and are very crowded. Nice guy 7 times. How long does it take to get the FBI clearance for the SRRV? You can go to myfbireport.com and it takes you to the site called NBI something. It brings you to another site. NBI is not NBI in the Philippines. Like a lot of people think NBI in the Philippines is the FBI over here in the Philippines. But it's actually like a clearinghouse that works with the FBI. They're an agent of the FBI, and they will do it for you like in 2 weeks. Okay, so it's myfbireport.com, myfbireport.com, and that'll help you. Okay, Chuck 619. There's a Ruth's Chris at BGC. BGC has a lot of stuff up there, like at the Venice Mall. I don't think the Venice Mall is part of BGC, but it's right on the border there. I'm pretty sure it's not. I think it's right on the border there. Maybe it is BGC, maybe it's not. I think it's like right on the border. Sinful says, Leonard Marlin, I was at Kadena from 94 to 96. Sinful says, nice guy 7 times. I got mine in about 30 days. It takes about 6 weeks now for the SRRV, guys. If you guys are thinking about doing the SRRV, it's supposed to be 30 days, like they say on their thing, but they're a little bit slow lately. And yeah, you can get it in about 6 weeks. Okay. Let's see. Robbie Rose says, Joshua, try Western Steakhouse at Mactan. Michael L says, rural Japan is cheap. Tokyo and Osaka are on par with Chicago as far as expenses. Dickie Spouse says, Leonard, will you be visiting Whisper Alley? Tom Pear says, they tend to hide it better. Thanks. That makes sense. Good reply. I mean, that's the best way I can answer you, Tom, to be honest with you. I mean, that's the way I've been thinking of it lately. I was thinking about that the other day because a lot of people ask me that question. Are the Filipinos really that different? I really think we trade our problems for new problems over here. They're not perfect. And I think we think we're in paradise over here when we come over here, and it's not paradise. And the people that are, saying that on their vlogs and stuff, they're selling you a bunch of BS, to be honest with you. We all have our problems over here, and I think Sinfuls would agree on that too, and a lot of the other guys out that are over here. Once you're over here for 5 years, like I have been, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And it's not just the women; it's just the country itself can wear on you sometimes. We have our problems over here too. Two-wheel Dragon Daddy, I remember you mentioning for SRV holders about LASIK surgery. Do you know of any good doctors? Your new glasses, nice. I do not. I know that up at the PRA, the Philippine Retirement Authority, they have advertised inside their newsletter, and they have I think they might even have a thing up there. I remember seeing one on the wall. It might still be up there. If you go up to the PRA, they have a bunch of stuff up there. You might even be able to look on their website. I'm not sure. The Philippine Retirement Authority website, and see if there's something on there about it. I think it's like 50% off, to be honest with you, for LASIK. RLV says, State of the Nation address Sona by Philippine Press on Monday. Expect traffic at Commonwealth. Actually, they said on Monday there's going to be, it's not a holiday. They called off work at most places up in Manila, I guess, at even the PRA because of the weather, the typhoon that's coming in. Damn Cars says, just returned to Subic from 2 weeks in St. Louis. Good to be back. Notice a shortage of workers and higher costs in the U.S. USA. Mike Luby says, I'm new to your channel. How long have you lived here, sir? I've been here for over 5 years now. Excuse me, guys. Joshua, I ran into a Karen at your swimming pool. She yelled at my daughter for not wearing her swim cap and went off on me for not enforcing her to keep her swim cap on. Yet the faded sign said nothing. Jean Lamb says, my cousin lives in Bodolan, Zambales. I will have a place to stay if I need to. That's cool. That's a nice place up there. Zambales is nice. Let's see. Joshua says, so they are here in the Philippines. Yes, there are. Mr. Brista, I was born in Camp Zama, Zagimahara, Yokohama, Japan. Caused me 4 months getting my birth certificate from the State Department, going to see my birthplace. That's cool, going back to your birthplace like that. Let's see. Robbie Rose says, I never understood why, if you still need reading glasses after LASIK, the point. I mean, I didn't get LASIK. I know about the LASIK. I've never gotten it. Yeah, I don't know why somebody would need reading glasses. I know maybe when you're walking around, you probably don't need glasses. Not sure. It's a good question, though, if that's true. I know some people that had the LASIK that still had glasses. Tom and Jerry in the Philippines, I find it strange seeing the women with umbrellas on sunny days to keep themselves whiter. I keep telling my girlfriend I love the dark skin on Asian women, but for some reason they prefer to be white. I know the brown skin men, the darker they are, the more beautiful they are as far as I'm concerned. Michael L., any Texas Roadhouse or Outback will have good steak. Yes, that's what will be Tuesday, guys. So if you're up in Bacoor at the Evia Mall, stop by Texas Roadhouse at 1:30 and we'll be there, okay? At Texas Roadhouse at the Evia Mall in Bacoor, 1:30. So, God willing. Let's see. Brian S., thanks for sharing about your Texas Roadhouse gathering on Tuesday. What time will you all meet there? We'll meet there at 1:30. So if you guys want to go, you're welcome to go. Leonard Marlin, 90 to 94 from me at Camp Foster Telecommunications. I was tasked to go to Clark and remove the central office and reinstall it on Camp Butler. My son was born at the Naval Hospital. That's cool. Robbie Rose says, I've seen an Outback in Alabang, Luzon, but no Roadhouse. Outback is, I've been to the one that you're talking about, I think. It's right on the corner at the, I'm trying to remember the Town Hall Mall or something like Alabang Town Center or something. Alabang Town Center. I think I've been to that one. That's the one that you're talking about, I believe. Sinful says, Leonard Marlin, I went there, set up a Class 2 avionics facility for PACAF. Lynn says, yep, July 24th, 25th, transportation hike. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Nice guy, 7 times, says, I'm coming to PI August 12th so I can stop my background check before I leave and receive it when I'm in PI. Michael L. says, paradise does not exist. Each place has its advantages and disadvantages. I agree. There is no real true paradise in the world anymore. There used to be, I think, but I think with the mixing of the world and mixing of the peoples throughout the world, I think it's changed, USA to Philippine life. Hi, Steve. Hey, everyone in chat. Simple says, my biggest grip is drivers being cars or bikes. No common sense with critical thinking. Leonard Marlin says, not a chance taking my wife and kids. Ha ha ha. Besides, I'm damn old to be chasing skirts. There we go. Probably better off not nowadays. Ha ha ha. Or just lazy. Ha ha ha. Two-wheel dragon lady. Got it. Thank you. Tom Pear says, Tom and Jerry in the Philippines. I learned in Thailand that the women want to have white skin so they will not be considered lower class farmers or workers. White skin is a sign of wealth to them. Yeah, because they work in the fields and the rice paddies and stuff like that, and for some reason they look at that as like, I don't know, because a lot of the actors and actresses here are white. They look up to them for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. RLV, public transportation strike. Oh, strike, okay. I thought they said hike earlier. 24 to 26. That's not good. That might be the reason why they called off work then, but they said it was the weather also. Michael L., the YouTube channel Westpac WX has good and up-to-date weather info for the Philippines. I'll have to check that out sometime. Paul Gibson says, I know it's good to keep busy doing your vlogs and helping people out all the time. I hope you take time out with your own well-being and just switch off sometimes. You know, Paul, it's funny that you mentioned that because I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and I do need a break every now and then, and I feel like I kind of overdo things sometimes. I work 7 days a week, helping people one way or the other, answering phones and just helping people in our group and stuff like that. And I think next year I'm going to be slowing down a lot more. I'm still going to keep the channel. I'm still going to be doing things on the channel. I'm going to try to set things up so they kind of run on their own more. If that, if you can kind of understand that. We're still going to do the SRRV help. I'm going to try to train a couple drivers that they can take people in and show them what to do and take them up to Mary Rose and all that stuff. So we are going to change pretty soon, and I probably will slow down to I don't know how many videos I'll do each week. I'll probably try to keep doing the same amount, maybe 4 or 5 a week or something. I might wrap up answering the phones and do it less, or do it a couple 2 or 3 nights a week, and whoever gets through gets through. Lou Anderson says, "Hey Steve, wrapping up all the loose ends in the U.S. Can't wait to join you guys in September." Sinful says, "I had LASIK in the past, works well." I was thinking about doing LASIK actually. Sinful says, "But now I need glasses. That was long ago." Arby Tragur is on board. It's a good friend of mine back home. Let's see. Tom and Jerry in the Philippines. Poor my ex was Chinese and paid hundreds of dollars for Japanese creams. Yeah, these creams over here. I mean, but the whitening stuff is in everything now. Skin creams, soap, everything. Canine companion. LASIK surgery can only repair farsightedness and not nearsighted issues. Leonard Marlin, very cool, Sinfuls. Let's see. Lynn says, "We love glutathione, LOL." Yes, yes. It's in everything. Tom Pear, Tom and Jerry in the Philippines. Haha, my ex was Chinese and the same way. She preferred to look pale. Let's see. Tom and Jerry and I are actually good friends. Tom's a good guy. He hails from Massachusetts, right around where I'm from. So, Sinful says, Lynn says, "Keep up the marina skin and cute nose." There we go. Robbie Rose says, "K9 untrue. I'm myopic, nearsighted, and had monovision corrected my dominant eye." Mr. Brister, how long is a drive is Batangas from Manila? I hear there are good beaches there. It's probably about 3 hours, I'd say. 4 hours, depending on traffic. Right around there. It's not that far from where I'm at, actually. It's a few hours from here. So I'd say probably about 3 or 4 hours from Manila, depending on where you are in Manila and traffic. At night, it's easier. Frederick Walker, I agree with Tom and Jerry. I had the experience with a brown-skinned Philippine. I hate the sun. Sticky Spaz is on board, and he says, MCAS Futenma 89 would love to visit Okinawa again. Sinful says, Mr. Brister, a couple of hours at least. It depends which way you go, too. I would say it's more than Sinful says a couple hours. He drives fast, though. Like I said, it depends where you're coming from in Manila. Lynn says, aha, I am saving money for nose repair. That's the thing that we like about the Philippines is the noses. Bobby Rose, Alton, all that water and 80% of the people there can't swim. Leonard Marlin, Paradise is moving to Florida after freezing my rear off in Spokane, Washington. Lynn says, look at MJ Vlogger. Simples, Lynn says Filipino noses are too cute, LOL. K9 companion. Robbie Rose, okay, more specific. Nearsightedness, myopia, when your eyeball is slightly longer than normal or when the cornea curves too sharply. Yes, light rays focus in front of the retina. Astigmatism, okay. Alan Ricky, where will I'll be able to charge my Tesla? That's a good question. Probably in the garage, but the only place you will be around here. I've never seen a charge station for a Tesla over here, or any type of thing like that. Robbie Rose, K9, I traded basically with LASIK. My dominant eye, I can now see far but can't read close now. So one eye for each monovision. Sinfuls, we have a charge station in New Valley. That's cool, actually, that you say that, Sinfuls, because I've never seen one here. Let's see here. Gene Lynn said, question for you. Can I do all the SRRV in the Philippines? You know, Gene, it really depends on the stuff that you have. If you want to talk to me sometime, just email me at steven5975 at yahoo.com. Just ask me for my number. You might already have it, I think. I just don't give it out on here, you know. But you can always call me. Okay, you might actually be on my Facebook. I'm not sure. You can actually call me on Facebook some evening, weeknight evening, 6 to 9:30 p.m. Manila time. Mr. Bristol, Steve, did your previous marriage cause any issues with your military disability? I am currently on civilian disability, engaged and concerned about possible issues with SSA. Did your previous? No. I am on civilian engaged and concerned about possible issues with the SSA. I'm not sure what you're trying to get at. Actually, I'm trying to think here. My previous marriage never had any problems. You know, I've had a disability since I was in the service for some things, and what they did was they tracked it back to the sciatica. You know, which is really good. The doctor that I had was phenomenal. You know, Tom's away. MJ's nose looked better before her surgery. Let's see. Tom and Jerry in the Philippines. I've been watching a lot of shorts on YouTube lately, and they are all full of violence. Sad what is going on in the U.S. these days with young kids. The kids in the United States are kind of bent on this garbage, you know. And even the games they play, man. That's all they. It's I don't know. Even the adults now are kind of into the violent stuff. You know, I don't know what happened to America. The America I knew. Robbie Rose, are you her ex? Tom's away. Lynn says, Sinful's cute sometimes. Sinful, Steven5975 at yahoo.com. USA to Philippines life. My wife has all sorts of skin whitening potions. There we go. Tom's away. LOL, different Tom. Excuse me. Robbie Rose, Tom's away. I crossed paths with her tiny thing. Dickie Spaz says, Tom, young kids with lack of poor parental discretion. The courts have also decided not to prosecute thuggery. That's the sad part, yes. Robbie Rose says, actually, that needed a comma. Okay. So we're up to 77 people, 53 thumbs up, guys. We're at about 32 minutes. Okay, let's keep this rolling, guys. So type some stuff in so we can keep this going tonight. We can talk about anything you guys want to talk about. It's always something interesting on here. But the SRRVs are becoming a big topic. They went back to 2 years rather than 1 year now. So every 2 years you have to re-up it. Leonard Marlin says, my wife actually feels more comfortable now getting out with me going to resorts, swimming, and I guess she's not too concerned with the darkening. Let's see. I just got a code on here. I don't know what's going on. I guess she's not too concerned with darkening of her skin more now than before we were married. Let's see. RLV says, my daughter will be in Barangay Conchu. That's pretty, yeah, it's not too far from me. I was just there a little while ago. I actually know a friend. I have a friend of mine that lives over there. Tracy Martez next week for engineering site visit for a college course. Conchu's nice. It's a little rural. Tell your daughter, RLV, to check out the waterfall over there. It's a little bit of a hike, but it's worth going to see. It's fun going down. It's not fun coming back. It's way down on the side of this hill because we're 423 feet up here. So, but this is way down, way down. It's right near a school too. Just ask people over there where it's at. They'll take you. Sinfuls, I am wondering, with the COVID-19 emergency halted here, if we need to do QR codes flying in and out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're keeping any of that stuff up anymore. I haven't heard anything about COVID in a while. It's kind of funny that we haven't either. Mr. Brister, SSA, Social Security Administration, some folks I know have filed for divorce here in the States due to SSA rules regarding joint income and assets. My Filipina has nothing, no income or assets. Yeah, I'm not really up on, Mr. Brister, I'm really not up on Social Security much here because I don't collect Social Security yet, so I really don't know how that works. I know you were asking me questions about that earlier about, you know, I'm not sure how to answer SSA questions. I can answer some of them about that we do have that in the embassy that we can go and they have a Social Security window there. Robbie Rose, good question, Sinfuls. Alan Ricky, we might be getting free Wi-Fi soon. Or Wi-Fi puts it. Big D, our apartments in Tracy, Montero still under 100. Thinking about making Tracy my base camp when I move there. Thanks, Steve. Well, Big D, I'll tell you, they average about anywhere from 60 to 125. $100 one to 125 to $125 one will usually have AC. Okay. I'll tell you though that with the amount of expats coming in here, they could really, you know, you could come in here and you really make out, because there's still some secrets around here some secret homes that you can find around here, even houses that are fairly cheap around here, and you just need to paint them and fix them up and make it yours. Just make sure you like the neighborhood. I'll just say that, okay? RLV, yes, Stephen, they are developing in the area. Tom and Jerry in the Philippines, I found out the other day, if you're more than 6 months in the Philippines, have to complete clearance form and that QR code when leaving now. See, I don't know anything about that. I just know about the exit stuff, you know. So I'm not sure if the SRRV holders have to do all that stuff. I'll have to ask Justin about that, because he goes in and out. So I'll have to ask him, and maybe we can do a show about that. We'll actually maybe do a show after he gets back about that. I'll have him on and we'll sit and talk about it. Leonard Marlin, anyone know how long it takes to get a clearance to leave the Philippines? I'm leaving to go back in September. I'm not sure how long that takes, Leonard, because we do the SRRV here. Let's see. Sinful says, yes, I know a guy who came back in from Vietnam. He needed QR code and onward ticket still, but Bong Bong just cleared the C-19 emergency. Okay, so hoping it changes before I fly in September. Michael L. says, Sinfuls, as of late May, just registered with eTravel. Yeah, eTravel pretty much answers things, Let's see. U.S. to Philippine life. We're getting ready to fly back to Iloilo in about a month. You still have to fill out the eTravel, okay, and get the QR code 3 days prior to your departure. Interesting. See, for the SRRV holders, I believe that's a little bit different, because we get an exit clearance thing. We don't need to be, it's easier, I think. Now, I'm not even sure on that. I know we have to get like an exit document, and we probably have to fill out some sort of documents. I will check in with Justin about that. I will find out, and I will follow up on that. So we'll get an answer to all that stuff. Because I think people will be asking about the SRRV, because things are changing here a little bit, as far as going in and out. I think there's going to be a few more changes too. But as far as the 36 months, that's not changing. That's not going away. Sinfuls, Michael L. Okay, but wondering if that will stop. Normalcy would be nice, but it is the Philippines. That's true. Sinful says, okay. Sinful also says, yes, but we need current info with the drop of the emergency situation per Bon Bon. And see, Michael L. says, I will take eTravel over those paper forms. Yeah, the eTravel kind of took the place of the other things that they had on there before. Lazy Larry Lee says, hi, Steven and everyone. How you doing, Lazy Larry? Good to see you on here, man. And he says, hello, Sinful. Sinful says, hi, Larry. Robbie Rose, here, Michael. Sinful's true, Michael. Tom Pierre, do any of the PI residents have to deal with theft or break-in issues? Since I've been here, Tom, I've only heard of 2 break-ins in the neighborhood in the 5 years that I've been here. And that's pretty damn good. Back home where my dad lived, he lived in a very wealthy neighborhood. They had break-ins there all the time, at least 1 or 2 a year, and big break-ins where they would empty out the whole entire house. And I don't know how the heck they did that without pulling up a truck and leaving it. They took big screen TVs, furniture, everything. They emptied out one house there, the whole house. Now, how do you do that? I guess they were on vacation for a week, and somebody found out that they were gone. They just went in there and moved everything. Ted LaSalvia, good morning, Stephen, again from San Diego, California. Cindy G says, thumbs up. Nice guy 7 times. Do you know a good hotel to stay when flying into Manila? Manila, something, Manila is so full of hotels, and really good hotels. I would say stay in an Airbnb, really. They're cheap and they're just as good. Unless you're looking for the benefit of being able to order food or something in your room and the place has a restaurant there. Otherwise, stay at an Airbnb. They're so cheap and they're just as nice. Let's see. Jean Lynn says, I want some secret homes. Ha ha ha. I need a place to stay. Okay. Sinful says, nice guy 7 times. I would recommend Conrad. Conrad's a nice place. It's right on the ocean too. And Sinful's seems to like that place, but it is expensive. It really depends on how much you can afford. But if you're looking for a beautiful place, either that or there's a place right across the street there. Maybe Sinfuls can write it in what it is. I can't remember the name of it. I don't want to say the wrong name but it's a cheaper hotel. They do have a pool, and it is across from the mall still, but it's in the same location. You get this kind of the same view a little bit. Robbie Rose, Tom Pear, there's a reason everyone has walls around their homes. Yes. There are break-ins, but I think the walls and stuff kind of stop that. Mr. Brister says, I've noticed many YouTube vloggers are cranking up the minimum cost to $1,500 to $2,000 depending on location. These streamers were lowballer cost folks. So is inflation going up drastically? Yes. A lot. I've noticed costs going up here a lot, and times are changing, man. I don't know how people are living back home on their the money that they're getting from Social Security and stuff nowadays. I don't know how they do it. It's crazy. Big D says, thanks, Steve. When I make the big move, would like to hire you as a consultant if possible. You can even name your own price, as I trust you 100%. Big D, if you can, I'll give you my number. You can call me for free. I don't charge people for stuff like that. I really don't. I have a lot of people call me and ask me for questions all the time, and most of the stuff I can usually tell you within 10 minutes. You can always call me. I don't care. I answer the phone, and I have a lot of people that call me. I think most people usually pretty much know everything within a month or two. But yeah, I'll always help you. No worries there. If you need my phone number, just Steven5975@yahoo.com, and then ask me for my phone number. Ask me for my Philippine phone number, so when you're over here. RLV says, Storm E-Guy now inside the PAR. Yes, I heard that. That Monday they're calling off work up in Manila in some places. Tom Pear says, Gene Lamb, you can stay at my secret home. Ha ha ha. Michael L, nice guy 7 times, either the Airport Hilton or the Conrad at the Mall of Asia. If anybody knows what the name of it, I think it's, what the heck is the name of it? Wyndham? Is it the Wyndham right across from the Conrad? Michael, maybe you know, or Sinfuls. It's cheaper than the Conrad, but you can just walk across the street, and you kind of have, if people are looking for something cheaper, that would be cheaper than the Conrad for sure. I believe it's like $100 a night or maybe even less. Leonard Marlin, I guess I'm behind the curve. It took 2 weeks before I get the clearance last year, but hearing it takes less time now, and did have to do the QR code. Sinful says, yes, at Airbnb you can also be a star with the spy cams, LOL. You can make movies too. You could be on some. I'm just joking. Michael L, is it the Wyndham? I believe it's the Wyndham. Yes, from outside it looks down. Yes, it doesn't look out of the bay, but it's still beautiful there. You kind of getting the same at a more cut rate. The rooms might not be as big or as nice, but if you're looking for cheaper, that's the way to go. And it's right near the Conrad, and you're right near the same, the mall and everything too, so you can go shopping all day. Mike Williams, Steve, I'll be in Tracy for a few days next month to get a feel for the area. I'll also be checking out 3 other areas before I decide where to get up a home base when I move there next year. This is and then it cuts off. Let's see. Leonard Marlin, one vlogger was still saying 1,000. I still see vloggers saying I got this guy's living on 500, and I don't think they're living on 500 anymore. They can say what they want, but I don't believe that. I don't know who the vlogger was that said that, but he had some guy on there for 500, and that's just not true. USA to Philippine life. For hotels last year, we stayed in Manila for a couple of days on the way back to the States, and we stayed at the Belmont Hotel. It was decent if you need to stay close to the NAIA. Mr. Brister, I received a good rate at the Ramada Inn by Marriott by Chinatown. $70 per night, good location, and solid hotel rating. Let's see. Alan Ricky says, you don't return calls? Alan, if you leave me messages, sometimes I get hundreds of messages sometimes. I literally do. The best way is just call till you get me, because sometimes I get so busy I forget to check the messages. And I get all kinds of, I do answer the phone most of the time. So if you left me a message, I know there's 2 messages sit there. I tell people call till you get me. So I usually don't return calls because it gets, unless I see it when I'm on a phone call, I'll call back. That's the only time I'll usually return a phone call. So just call me again till you get me. It's not a problem. If you got my number and you want to call me anytime tomorrow. Okay, I'll probably answer. Sinful says email Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Alan, I hope you call on the right number, because lately I've been able to answer most of my calls, but there was a week there where I was really flooded with phone calls. I'm not sure why, and there was a whole bunch of messages on there. I didn't have 2 hours to listen to the messages, and I'm not sure why I got that many messages, but I had a lot of messages on Magic Jack. It was flooded. Michael L says budget about half the living costs in the States. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably, maybe even a little bit more than that, Michael. It's going up, Let's see. Gene Lance says Tom Pear. Okay, LOL. Tom Pear. Michael L says I will take the Conrad since I have loads of Hilton points. Pero, no Wyndham points. Sinful says I've been saving my Delta miles. When I go back to the States, I'll be flying all over. It cost me $160 for premium and first class. That's pretty decent, Sinfuls. Tom and Jerry in the Philippines. Leonard Marlin. I was hoping $1,500 per month when I came here last September. Same as you. Now over $2,000 here in province in Mindanao. Yes, Tom actually lives in an area that's fairly cheap to live, and he finds that he has to spend $2,000 a month there, and I'm finding where I live where it's really cheap, housing wise, for food and everything. Man, it's gonna eat you alive over here. I mean, if I had to live on what I originally planned on living over here, I don't know how I'd do it. Nice guy 7 times says I was planning to bring some solar panel electrical components. Will there be any problems with customers that you know of? With customers you're talking about, not customers. I'm not sure. That's something you really have to check with customs. I'm not really up on customs, nice guy 7 times. I wish I was. I wish I knew more. I'm not sure about that. I know they'll probably charge you for taking stuff like that in. Thomas John says I've stayed under $1,500 per month for the past year. Thomas, I'm not gonna say it's not impossible, but I know that there are places in the Philippines that are cheaper than others. It's kind of wherever you're at. Like Baguio vegetables might be cheaper, stuff like that. But there is, if you know how to live here and you learn, I could live on $1,500 a month or $1,250, if I had to, and probably make it, but it would be tough. Upset Classified. Do you have any good sites where to find short-term rentals, 1 to 2 months? Yes, Airbnb. Airbnb has really good stuff on there. I was looking through there the other day, and I was kind of shocked at the prices. And go from cheapest to most expensive. That way there, you're not looking at the most expensive ones first. Alan Ricky, I never got your number. Alan, I've been answering emails. I always do answer my emails. It takes me anywhere from 2 to 4 days to answer, and I've been pretty up on my emails. If you email me again at Steven5975 at yahoo.com, I'll send you my number. Both, if you tell me whether you want my American or my Philippine number, because I'll send you both if you want. I mean, and you can call me, and I'm also on Facebook. Okay. Tom Pierce says, did your group ever get up a fishing trip? No, we have not. We have not. We're thinking about doing a Batangas trip, hopefully. So we keep talking about it. We did do 2 or 3 of them before, and we had a lot of fun. I think we're going to do some more soon. Sinfuls is giving Alan Ricky the email. He says email him, and he will give you the phone number at Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Yeah, we will send it out to you, Alan. I'm not shy about answering the phone. I always answer the phone. Anybody that knows me knows I answer the phone. But if I'm on the phone and you call me during then, usually I call back. If you leave me a message while I'm sleeping, and some people call me at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I tell people call me between 6 and 9:30 Manila time, p.m. And that's the best time to call me to reach me. And I usually answer during that time too. I'll answer probably more than 50% of the time. Izzy and Chris, good evening, Steve. Have you heard about this guy Jasper? So So what's your thoughts? He comes off as extremely arrogant. I think I've watched one of his videos. I really, I don't really know that much about him to even comment. I don't like to comment about other vloggers because it makes you a lightning rod. And it's just something I'd rather stay off of, getting involved in other vloggers. I've mentioned a couple that I felt needed to be talked about because it was really important because of what had happened. That's the only time I've brought them up. I've probably brought up maybe 3 vloggers since I've been on here, maybe 4 tops. And if I did talk about them, it was in a good way. If I talked more than that, but probably the only time I've talked negatively was probably like maybe 2 to 4 people. I can't think of who they were right offhand. Lynn says, that's cool. Nice guys. Solar panel is a big help, especially if you will stay in Visayas or Mindanao where some areas frequent outages. Sinful says, nice guy 7 times. If they will fit in a LBC box, that would be the best way to send. Yes, probably. Ballot buy-in boxes for sure. Michael L says, Sinfuls, Amex has several co-branded cards that earn Delta miles. Sinfuls also says, Michael L, yes, I have Amex Platinum and Gold. Tom Pierre, I hear that from friends that Thailand has inflation now that is hurting folks as well. I think that's everywhere in the world right now, unfortunately. USA to Philippine life, getting crazy expensive to live here in New York City metro area where we are now. If you didn't have a place in the, if we didn't have a place in the Iloilo, I'd have to keep working until I'm 70 for sure. That was one of the reasons why I left the States, but man, it's getting bad over here too. And if it keeps getting bad over here, so I think some expats that are on the low budgets might have to go back and start working maybe at Walmart as a greeter or something, or do security work or something. I don't know. It's not good. Leonard Marlin, Thomas, we stayed at 1,500, went to 2,000 1 month later. 3 months later, 2,100. Last May, 2,200 because of inflation. See, it is crazy here. K9 Companion, nice guy 7 times. Texas Filipino just did a video on solar panels. Lynn says, Phil Sim Reg will end soon. Better register yours. Sinfuls, if you want good info on solar systems, watch My PI Dream with James. Let's see, Tom and Jerry in the Philippines. If you're a single guy, 1,500 probably works. But if you have girlfriend and her kids in school, it's definitely not possible. Yes, definitely. That's the problem over here. If you have a Filipino with kids, it definitely can get more. Michael L says, Sinful, same here. 4 times on groceries and dining is really nice on Gold Card. And the Platinum has 5 times on flight, and Centurion lounges have best food of any lounge. See, we're up to about 86 people, 69 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Sinful says, Michael L. agreed. Joy D's on. Steve, were you stationed in Subic, Olongapo in the 80s? No, I was not. I was actually never in the Philippines during my time in the service in the early 80s. I was stationed out of Charleston, South Carolina. I was on the Charleston Naval Base and at the weapons station there. We were also out of Georgia, Kings Bay. We went out of Cocoa Beach one time too. Zuri says, hi, Steven. Nice to see you live. How you doing, Zuri? Leonard Marlin says, we're going to check out places to live at Okinawa because I'm being told by my wife's sister that we can live on 2,200 very easily. Yeah, I don't know how you can live in Japan on 2,200. I heard it's very expensive there, but maybe I'm wrong. I know there's a lot of empty houses I'm hearing because of the population problem that they have there. Tom Perry, I use my credit card for everything and pay off each month. I just found out my round-trip flight from U.S. to PI will cost me $10.89 with all my airline miles. That sounds pretty good, man. Mr. Brister, I had my first communication with St. Luke's this week to schedule my consults with docs. They stated they will take American credit cards. Can anyone confirm this? Mr. Brister, a lot of the places do. I'm sure St. Luke's will for sure take American credit cards, but you may want to call them and confirm that. Most decent hospitals here do. Let's see, Lynn says, message retracted. Let's see. Sinfuls, Mr. Brister, if they take credit cards, American cards should not be an issue. No, they will not. Izzy and Chris, Steve, if you haven't watched him much, don't. You'll get pissed off. Have a good evening. Thank you, Izzy. I don't really like the negative talk from a lot of the vloggers lately. I try to stay off the negative stuff. I try to be kind of upbeat, but I like to tell the truth about what's going on in the Philippines, and I think that's makes our channel a little bit different. We don't like to come out and it's not. I don't want to come across as like bitchy and moaning about it all the time. We do cover a lot of stuff that is negative here because there is some things that are negative here in the Philippines, but we try to give it out in a positive way, just to be informative. Makati Maz, boy, you make me feel insane paying the rent I pay for an Airbnb here in BGC. I'm embarrassed to tell you. I can only imagine. I mean, around here, in a gated community, some of these places you can get a one bedroom for $400 a month. Over in Tagaytay, I saw one $400 a month over there. I was like, "What are you kidding me? $400 a month?" Zuri, yes, about the inflation, but the stock market is recovering. That's good that the stock market's recovering. Lazy Larry Lee, Makati Maz, hello. BJ says, hello, Steve. Good evening. How long do you have to be in the Philippines before you can get a background check from the Philippine government for the SRRV? Actually, if you come over here and you didn't do your police background check in the United States, let's say you forgot it or something like that, they will do an Interpol check on you if you want sometimes. So that's not really a concern, BJ. You may want to talk to Mary Rose about that. You can email me at Steven5975. I would actually use Mary Rose anyway because it's going to save you all the money that you're going to pay on some consulting firm. And Mary Rose doesn't charge you. She gets paid by the PRA. Just keep that aware. Your application fee will cover some agencies, and some agencies double dip and they charge you $1,000 and they get the money from the PRA too. So just FYI, be careful what agencies you pick. Mary Rose won't charge you a nickel. She will not ask you for money for her. So it's nice to tip her because she saves you $1,000 though. Sinfuls, Makati Maz, I pay a higher rent than most, but I still consider it reasonable for what I have. Yeah, Sinfuls lives in a nice area. I mean, I've seen his area and the rents that they charge over there. For what you get over there, I think he does very well, because in the States you'd pay a lot of money for those places, man. Big D, me and my wife, we spend approximately $2,000 each month eating out at nice restaurants in the U.S. Can we expect to cut this in half when we make the move, even if we eat Western meals 7 to 10 times a week? Month eating out at nicer restaurants in the U.S. Can we? Western meals are pretty expensive over here. I will say this: they have a thing called a BFF card, a bistro card, that you can buy for more upscale places like Texas Roadhouse. Those are considered more upscale over here. Texas Roadhouse, TGI Fridays, places like that. Chili's does not have it. I wish they did. It saves you 20 to 30%, and sometimes you get a little bit more than that off too. So just be aware of that. Look up the bistro card. Makati Maz says, let's just say my rent alone is the entire monthly budget you guys are talking about. I can imagine, yeah. I know back in the States things are expensive. Even in Lawrence, Massachusetts, which is a ghetto, they want $2,000 for a two or three bedroom there. That's crazy. Some people don't make that in a month. It's that are retired. That's insane. USA to Philippine life says message retracted. Tom's away. I have room to increase my budget above $1,500, but I haven't needed to. Some months $1,000 is okay. Depends where I stay. I've stayed in over 10 different locations over the past year, even Manila. Michael L. Those empty houses are mostly in rural areas. Let's see. So there's none in the city, Mike? I've heard about those, though. Sinfuls, from my flight back to U.S. from Manila to San Francisco, SFO, through Eva Air was $856. That's a great deal, man. I was looking the other day. They want $3,000 or more one way for, like, if you wanted a ticket within, like, a couple weeks or something, or even a month. Tom and Jerry in the Philippines. Good evening, Steve and everyone. Always great watching the live feed. Sinfuls, GN, Tom and Jerry. Good night, Tom and Jerry. Good night, Tom. We'll see you soon. We'll talk soon. Sinful says, I believe it is 1 year for the MBI clearance. No, he's talking about like if you come over here, Sinfuls, you can do the Interpol. They'll do the Interpol at the PRA, because you're supposed to come over here with. I think that's what he's talking about. He's talking about the police report. Usually, you need to come over here to get. You need a police report, of some sort. So if you come in here and you don't have one, they'll usually run a Interpol on you now. I believe that's what he's talking about. If I'm wrong, please shoot me the question again. RLV, try getting Brussels sprouts at Gerald's PH. I love Brussels sprouts. A lot of people don't like them. I like them, especially in butter. Leonard Marlin, and Okinawa isn't mainland Japan. I'm like you, skeptical. We were going to be there a month, I guess, and it's just her sister missing her sister and nieces and nephews. Sinful says, at least that is what I was told when I had mine. Tim H. Hi, Steven. I am from Tampa, Florida. I will see you in 8 months. Sounds good, Tim. Lloyd White. If you want to join our group, let me know. Just email me. Lloyd White. Almost paid off my hospital bill in Vietnam. Hope to be in the Philippines soon. We'll be trying out to Tagaytay. Thanks for the updates. Let's see. Tom's Away says, my current Airbnb in Iloilo is $369 a month. That's a good price, man. There's some good Airbnbs out there, guys. That's what I tell you guys. A lot of people don't believe me about the Airbnbs. They think they're expensive over here, and they're not. Makati Maz, you're surprised at a $400 rent? Now, I'm really embarrassed to tell you what I am paying. It's over 4 digits. I can imagine. Gene Lin says, I used Space A military flight from Charleston Air Force Base one time. That's a nice place. I actually used to have 2 condos right near Charleston Air Force Base, right down the street. Gene, you might know this. Dorchester Road. I'm sure you know where that is. In North Charleston. Mr. Brister, my flight on December 1st is 6601 Dorchester Road, if I remember correctly. That was a while back. My flight on December 1st from Chicago O'Hare to LAX, then to NAIA, one way 1,357. That's not bad. Surprised this high with 5 months advance purchase. Yeah, that's actually expensive with 5 months ahead. Sinful says, Mr. Bristol, I bought my ticket through Expedia RT. Sinful, Mr. Bristol, but December, that is why. Holiday time. Chuck 619, December's peak season, prices always higher. Joy Dizon, Steven, is there a SNR near you? Yes, there's one not too far away. It's a little bit of a trip, but it's not too bad. Let's see, Mr. Brister, American Airlines, O'Hare to LAX, and Philippines Airlines from LAX to NAIA. Ted La Silva, Makati Maz, how do you like Makati? I was thinking of the area as a counterpoint to BGC. Makati's a little bit different than BGC. It's still beautiful. There's a lot of nice restaurants there, and there are cheaper places to live in Makati versus BGC, I think. It offers you some differences there, where BGC, I think, is pretty much all expensive. From what I've heard, I could be wrong on it, but I don't, from what I've heard from people, everywhere in BGC is expensive. Philip Massey says, I'm not yet retirement age. If I moved to the Philippines and wanted to live modestly, then how much would I need for the first year to get settled in? You need about $10,000 to $12,000 to get your furniture and stuff and all that stuff ready. If you're coming over here basically naked, I haven't used that term before, but I it's kind of a good term. I heard somebody else use that term. So Philip, I would say, bring over that, and you should be all set. And use at least have $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Sinful's Joy Dizon, there is one on Aguinaldo Highway, a ways from Steve. Yes, there's some nearby here. There's at least one nearby because I've been there. I used to go there. I forget what town it was in though. DM Steve, how long did you try gabapentin? This actually worked very well for me. I don't like gabapentin. I'll tell you why. It bothers my eyes. It made them all sticky and like this white stuff all around my eyes, and I didn't like it. I'm not sure if I have something wrong in my system or allergy or something, but it didn't work for me. I take the baclofen, and the baclofen actually does help. Leonard Marlin, I am so glad I kept my duplex in the States. The rentals are skyrocketing in Florida. Makati Maz, I live in BGC, not Makati anymore. It's very expensive here. Mr. Brister, Expedia. John Fetchko, coming back to Philippines, January, February, weather great. Um, Ted LaSalvia, big smile face. Ted LaSalvia, Makati Maz, I know from other vloggers a bit about the cost, so I know it's less expensive than San Diego. Okay. Joshua Tuttle just joined stream. Is it true that the 30-day visa has been extended to 59 days? I know I don't know if they've actually done it yet. I believe they have. I think the date was July 1st or something like that. I heard. I don't really usually get into that stuff. We usually do more of the visa talk. I don't do too much of the tourist visa stuff. I do believe it is at 59 days now, though. I'm pretty sure. But don't quote me on that, okay? If anybody knows other than that, speak up on here. Somebody will answer up. DM, I think you may need to use at least for 120 days or longer for results. Yeah, I used it for a bit of a time. I'm not sure how long I used it. I think it was like 30 or 60 days, but it bothered my eyes, so I started throwing it away because I didn't like it. I told my doctor. I had problems with several of them actually. Michael L. Brussels sprouts equal green balls of death. I actually like them. It kind of tastes like cabbage. RLV says, Makati Maz, no embarrassment, just learnings here on the Philippines. Sinful says, Michael L. Ha ha ha. Jeff McCune, hi Sinful. Sinful's, hey Jeff. Philip Massey says, what's a good place not too far from Manila to get decent amenities but lower rent? Anywhere around here, south of Manila. Go south of Manila. This place is north of Manila too. You just got to shop around. You know. Just shop around. Sinful says, Philip Massey, what budget you talking about? Joy Dizon, Steve, I remember the good old days when I was stationed in Subic. Rent for me was $150 a month for a 3-bedroom, $20 for a helper. Those are the good old days, man. I mean, you can get a 1-bedroom around here really cheap, you know. Let's see. Mazzy Maz says, I'm embarrassed because I know I'm paying too much for even BGC, but I love the location, no lease required, and absolutely everything is included. Ted LaSalvia says, the Philippine Info Channel, thank you for info on Makati, Stephen. You're welcome, man. There you go. Have a nice day. Stay away from Makati unless you like Jasper in the Philippines. He's a hate monger. That's... I don't want to speak about anybody. I mean, I've watched them. I'm not, I'm not impressed by, a lot of vloggers out there, but I try to stay away from that stuff, Mr. Brister, Dolomite Beach is high on my woman's sightseeing list. Let's see, isn't this Manila Bay? Yes. I hear negative comments regarding Manila Bay pollution. That same beach used to be really, really polluted. It's awful. Tom Pear, gabapentin is awful and gives no relief to me either. Yeah, I didn't like it. Fitz from Florida, Makati Maz, you digging the most. BGC is where it's at. Some people like it. I actually like it. You know what I mean? It's just too expensive. Sinfuls, Mr. Bristol, yes, Manila Bay is filthy. I wouldn't swim there by any means. No, that you could actually I remember, and that was 5 years ago when I first got over here, and I remember being over at the embassy, and you could smell the water from there. You could smell the sewage in the water. That's how bad it was. Michael S. says baclofen is harsh on the stomach. Yes, it is. Tizanidine is the same muscle relaxing capability without harshing the stomach. Yeah, that's the one you told me. I remember you telling me about that, Michael. I'm gonna have to look into that. Tramadol has helped me a little bit now lately too. I was using mostly Tramadol as the painkiller, but it's actually helped me now that the shooting pains are going away down my leg, the nerve pain. John Fitchko tried 850 gabapentin, no results. Makati Maz says, it's just that when I hear Steve talk about 100 rentals, I feel dumb paying what I pay here in BGC. LOL. My house here, I gotta say, I love my house here for and I think Sinfuls would tell you too. I got a great deal here at $80. See, Tom Pear, message retracted. Tom's away says, I've heard Jasper lives in the Gramercy residences. I've just seen him once. I've seen his things come across my screen. I've heard, like I said, I'd rather not get into that, Jasper actually lives in Trump Tower. Let's see, that's what the guy says. And RLV says, yes, Manila Bay is really polluted right now near U.S. Embassy. Michael says, gabapentin's toxic. Yeah, I believe it is. Sinful's Philip Massey. Well, my area, there, our condos are $400 and it's nice green open area with everything you need. And right here we have Hope Residences, and they're about $400 a month, and that's with a pool and everything right next to them all. Mr. Brista says gabapentin prescribed for neuropathy in my lower legs and feet. Absolute no go from me. Didn't care for how it made me feel, both physically or mentally. Yes, that was another problem. Not even 1 week for me. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it made me feel at all. I hated it. RLV says, hey, Steve, have you visited Robinson's, Manila, Malate lately? Not lately, no, I have not. I have been there before, long time ago. There you go. Have a nice day, says, imagine that water getting in your ear canal. Yes, you'd have some serious things going on there. Just imagine the skin problems you'd have. Tom's away. Trump and Gramercy. Sinful says, there you go. Have a nice day. You're in your mouth. Yuck. Yeah, can you imagine getting that stuff in your mouth? That's really gross. I couldn't even imagine swallowing a mouthful of that. Tom's away says, same block. Philip Massey, where are you located, Sinfuls? Let's see. Joy D's on. Steve, I've never had an issue trying to find cheap rent. The issue I've always had was the higher electric bills. Yes, electric bills can be as high or more than what the cheaper rents are. My electric bill's higher than my rent here. There you go. Have a nice day. LOL. Sinfuls. Philip Massey in an area called New Valley. Sinfuls. Google it. New Valley's a nice area. I actually like Sinfuls area. It's a beautiful area. I like being in an area where I can get around easier. I'm not sure how the tricycles are in his area. Her expat retirement says, are there any issues with house burglaries in Tracy Martires? In the past 5 years, we've had 2 in my neighborhood. That's the only time we've had problems here. Leonard Marlin, you're saying you're thinking about moving, but I've heard you say it may be nice to have a few places to rent and live. If I do move, okay, I would probably still keep this place for the amount that I pay here. Okay, and I don't plan on moving out of here for sure. I plan on keeping this place, and I'm not sure where I'm going to move. I could move to Hope Residences. I could move to Tagaytay. I'm not really sure yet. I could move to Manila. You know, it's not out of. It's definitely not off my list. Fitz from Florida, Steve, love your channel and all your support and info. Any updates on the next meeting? We are having one on Tuesday in Bacoor at Evia Mall at Texas Roadhouse. So 1:30 on Tuesday. Okay, and let's see. Tom Pierce says many RX drugs are pushed by doctors for many reasons. Gabapentin was a stock market moneymaker at first, but fell fast as people stopped taking it. WD007. Hi, Steve from Tampa, Florida. Leonard Marlin, we love having 3 different places. It breaks up things, and we get to see family and friends after a month. Her expat retirement, thanks, good to know. Michael L. Trikes are slow. I don't mind a trike. USA to Philippine life. I'm listening intently to the pain management discussion. I'm starting to have issues. Not sure is sciatica or neuropathy yet. Sometimes you can have both, believe it or not, and the sciatica can do damage to your nerves, along with the medicines that you take too sometimes. Some medicines like metformin can cause issues too, although metformin overall is pretty good for you actually in some ways. Mark Richard, I heard Davao has cheap electricity. Chris G, thumbs up. Fitz from Florida, WD007, born and raised 20 minutes from Tampa, same weather here. Tom Pear, hey, have they got Dollar General stores there yet? No. They are like 7-Eleven stores in the U.S. Yeah, I've seen those. I think there's one actually up in Lawrence, Massachusetts, where I was from, if I remember correctly. Ted LaSalvia, Stephen, maybe tell us a bit about Tagaytay. Tagaytay is right where Taal Volcano is. It's up in the air. It's kind of like Baguio, and it's 10 degrees cooler. And at night, you don't need air conditioning. Mr. Brister, out of here, folks. Steve, you and your community are on my want-to-meet list. Always enjoy your streams and sinfuls to boot. I hope my BGC location isn't too far to join your community. No, we have people from up north of Manila sometimes that join. We have a dinner group, and our dinner group is phenomenal because some of the people have started hooking up and going on trips. And actually, we have 2 people in our group now that are down in Cebu, I think, on a trip right now. And that's what we like to see. We want to see people that hook up there and make friends, and that's what it's all about. Our group. It's not just about hooking you up with a place to live and stuff like that. It's making friends too. That's the biggest part of our group. Leonard Marlin, good night and take care. God bless. Wife's calling. We're going to be ending this probably in about 10 minutes anyway, guys. Michael L. says, USA to Philippines life, a combination of naproxen, tramadol, and says, that sounds like what they give me. They give me acetaminophen, tramadol, because the two of them go together, and then they give me the baclofen. Mike Williams, is there more than one Nuvali? I've been to Nuvali and Santa Rosa. RLV, Sinful's area, Nuvali is high-end area, yes. Sinful's, Gia, good night, Mr. Brister. Her expat retirement for pain, ice is my friend. I actually like ice on my back, and also on my leg, on my hip. Michael L, BMW R75 with sidecar beats a trike any day. Sinful's Mike Williams, yes, that area. Her expat retirement, gabapentin didn't work for me either. USA to Philippine life, I'm actually taking 500 milligrams metformin daily for years, didn't consider side effects. There's not really, there are side effects on your nerves, I believe. Some people have mentioned that to me. I think it was Justin that told me. But I got to tell you, metformin got my uric acid out of me, and I had problems with uric acid too, and it just disappeared. I think it actually helps me with pain. It's changed my life as far as I was like borderline diabetic, but I wasn't quite there, so I just decided to start taking it, and I talked to my doctor about it, and they were okay with it. It actually helped a lot of things. It helps with your cholesterol too, I believe. Read up on it. It actually makes people live longer, according to what they say. Joy Dizon, Tagaytay, a little more expensive, but keeps my electric down. Or Batangas, where temperature is a little cooler. Yes, Tagaytay, it can be expensive there. I'll give you that. $400 for a one bedroom there in a high rise with stores below you. That's pretty good. Philip Massey, where are you living, Steve? I live in Tracy Martirez City, which is about 20 to 25 miles south of Manila. Curious Ed, I lived in Lawrence and Methuen. I'm RN. I worked in the general. Yes, we might have met before. Who knows? I lived over on Atkinson Street in Lawrence before. I lived in Atkinson Street. I lived on another Chester Street, I think it was, before that. John Miranda, just for everyone, info. I lived a couple of other streets too there. Just for everyone, info, Manila Bay is under rehab. MPN content measure of pollution is around 10,000 on 2021. They were able to reduce it to 1,000 MPN. Target is 100 MPN. That's actually, that's really, really good what they've done there. But I notice the water does not smell there, but I still see people jumping over the wall there and taking a whiz there or taking a dump there. I see some of the homeless people going down in there. There you go, says Tagaytay is a beautiful place. They have great fruit stands along the main road. Those are expensive fruit stands. Be careful of those, guys. If you go to Tagaytay, go out of town to get your fruit if you're going to buy a lot of fruit, unless you really need it. Michael L. says metformin has some nausea side effects that can be counted with promethazine. I don't have any side effects from metformin. I got to tell you, I know it does have some side effects, more than just that too. I don't have nausea from that though. Mike Hamilton says AC Sinfuls. I like to thank all for a good chat. Thankfully, we didn't have any Karens or Darrens tonight. LOL. John Bergeron. Wow, I'm very late tonight. Yeah, we're about to go off here. Mike Williams says Sinfuls. Yes, that is a nice area. Canine Companion. Steve, you should also try pain management where they burn your nerve endings. I don't want to go that far into it. I mean, if I get really bad, I've always said I'll check into the Chelsea Soldiers Home and I'll live there, because if I'm not married or something like that. I mean, if I'm married or I'm living here, and I we'll see what happens. I don't know what the future's going to bring me. I don't know what's I've just got off one relationship. I'm trying to figure out what my next move is in life, and it's not easy trying to figure that out. K9 Companion Steve, you should also try pain management where they burn your nerve endings. That's it. We read that one already. Michael L says, Steve, the problem with with paracetamol is it does nothing for inflammation and is liver toxic. I agree, man. I agree 100%, and I do worry about that. The Naproxen is anti-inflammatory and is not liver toxic, so I can enjoy some amaretto. You're right. I agree. I do worry about that because I have a fatty liver, so that's about the one problem I do have, and I think it's because I drink a lot of soda. Sinfuls, Mike Williams, I'm not very happy here. I just moved to a newer house farther into the valley, away from the busy parts. There you go. It says 82 viewers, 76 likes. Actually, we got 85 and 84 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Let's see. Homesteader says, I'm a veteran in New Hampshire and considering making a move into the Philippines. Is it okay to contact you? Yes, Homesteader. You can absolutely contact me at Stephen with a V, Stephen5975 at yahoo.com. Stephen5975 at yahoo.com. It takes a few days for me to get back to you, so just, K9 Companion says milk thistle is great for liver protection. They even use it for alcoholics. Yes, I actually take milk thistle. I actually like it. I buy that every time I go to the drugstore. Let's see. USA to Philippine life. We're getting all our health stuff taken care of now before moving full-time to Iloilo. Four more years or less to go. Going to go fast. K9 Companion, USA to Philippine life, 3.5 for me. Can't wait. Michael L. says, Manila Bay has been cleaned up some. However, the job is far from complete and still smells at the seawall at times. Yes, it does. I believe that part of that is because ships are blowing their tanks, and I don't think that they'll ever get that down to 100 no matter what they think. I think some of those ships are blowing their tanks there. Here you go, says, there you go. Says, Steve, have you tried glucosamine? I have not. I take a lot of vitamins and supplements and stuff, and that's not one of them. I've tried that before in the past, and it doesn't really do that much for me. Joy Dizon, Steve will be there in January. We'll email. Would love to meet up. I did shore duty in QB Point and sea duty on the USS Sterret in Subic. I was wondering what your rate was. I was mess specialist. Now they call it something else, I think. I think they changed the name. Michael L. says, glucosamine is good for joint pain, pero hindi for sciatica. Yes. There you go. Have a nice day. Or you can stay drunk all day for pain management. There you go. Tom Pierre says, don't forget the thumbs up button before you say goodbye. Good night, guys. Jasper's sister in the Philippines. What area do you live in? We live in Tracy Martires. Michael L. says, what is good for a labrum pain? Jasper's sister says, there you go. Have a nice day. Thumbs up for the milk thistle. Guys, I'm going to say goodnight now, okay, because it's getting late. I'm kind of tired. I'm hoping to do a night where we can probably do a midnight run from 9:30. I'm thinking about doing that some night. I think it'd be fun because a lot of other people will be able to tune in. I wanted to say that, because I think we miss a lot of people on here that want to get on here, but they're, because it's all across the country. But maybe we'll do a night. If you guys want to stay up late some night, or for you guys, some of you guys are early in the morning back in the States or whatever, I'd like to try that and see how it goes. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. Tonight was actually a great night. I actually enjoyed tonight a lot. Hopefully you guys did too. Anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. And hopefully we'll get some good videos out this week. I got some plans for a couple of videos, so we'll see how things go. And good night, guys. God bless. Take care. And we should be on next week. We should be. Okay? So try to be here.